We're live. Live to nobody.
You know what's so funny
Uh-huh.
is I get a lot of hot dog memes from Jen, which is funny as hell.
Jen, are you talking about like Dave's Jen?
No, B-side.
Oh, Jen B-sides. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, ever since I found that Facebook page that has nothing but freaking like all the hot dog
Hot
memes.
dogs in places.
Well, yeah, hot dogs in weird places and shit like that. Ever since I got that freaking page, they send the funniest fucking memes of like hot dogs. And I know you're a fucking glizzy queen. You're into fucking hot dogs. So it's like it's just a fucking thing.
Now
So every
that
time
I
I see something
think
funny with a
about
hot dog,
it,
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
it's got to go to Lisa.
No,
Every time I see it.
Yeah, when I do get on my kicks of sending
What's
you
up,
memes.
James?
Hey, James, when I do get on my kicks of sending you memes, I send you a lot of hot dog memes. That's kind of the thing we do. We send hot dog memes to each other. And you know what? My sister sent me this shirt. It says, I got the dog in me.
I got that dog in me.
And you know what it is? It's a picture of the 150 hot dog from Costco. Somebody made a shirt of it.
Hello, Dwayne. Did you see how the fucking internet went into an uproar? Internet went to a fucking uproar because they turned around and said that it was like it was a fucking meme. People put a meme that said, "What is different? This change in the Costco menu is going to cause an uproar." And everybody was like, "Oh, what?" I mean, people were fucking flipping out about it and shit. People were actually fucking flipping about. What did they change? Because they showed the hot dog. The only thing they did is they offer water as an alternative to soda.
They did that when I went last time I got a hot dog. They're like, you want soda or water?
Hey, Paulina.
And my mom goes,
easy
hey,
milk.
Paulina. And my mom goes, why didn't they offer that long ago? Because not everybody wants to drink soda. Some people are on a health. And I was like, yeah, you're right about that. But I said to her, now you have the option. You can drink soda or you can drink water. And
this is true. Hello, Trish.
But I'm also on the boat where, I'm not drinking soda a lot anymore. So if I want to allow myself a soda at Costco, it'll be my treat, my little cheat thing.
So crazy. Did you read about Bonnie Tyler?
Yeah, health problems.
That is fucking crazy. Intestinal. They said she had some kind of intestinal problem or something of that sort.
Is she okay now?
I guess. They said that she had surgery, and they said surgery went well, and they said that she's already starting to recuperate. But yeah, I was like going, oh, fuck, here we go. Like 2026 is going to be the year.
Guess who we lost today?
What's his face from CNN? The creator of CNN, didn't we?
We lost Ted Turner.
Yes, Ted Turner. There you go.
But 87, when you think about it, when they're in their late 80s and they pass away, I feel sad that they're gone, but I'm not like crying over it because he had 87 years of life, and that's a long time.
87 it's a good stretch. I mean, when you start getting older and you start getting to like your late 60s, early 70s, maybe 87 doesn't seem like that much of a stretch because you're like I think I've gotten at the age now, being 54, that. And a lot of people turn around and tell me, they said, you're being overly dramatic, Dusty. They said, you know what? You still have plenty of years ahead of you. You're only 54. Sorry, 54, I feel fucking old. I feel freaking old. I know that I got more years behind me than I have ahead of me. I'm pretty sure of that. But like people end up saying, oh, you're being overly dramatic. You've got so many years left. I'm like, I hope that I make it to like, retirement.
They haven't met me. I'm 43 and I'm kind of dramatic. I'm like, oh, I hope I make it to 50.
Well, I mean, with you, but I can't talk about you because Trish has a new video up at her channel. Go ahead, go take a look. I can't make fun of you or say anything about you because I can't say you're overly dramatic because you're probably just about as like me when it comes to hypochondria.
Well, because my mom's side of the family, they die at 6. A lot of them die in their 60s. So I have my reasons for my hypochondria because a lot of my mom's side of family have health problems young.
Well, what ends up happening with you, though, is, I mean, if you just wake up with your butt itching, it's like that's enough for you to be like, oh, my God, my butt's itching. I've got butt cancer. I know it. I've got butt cancer.
I had a legit reason. But I had a legit reason at one time, guys. I had a legit reason at one time because I'll just to tell you,
you don't have to go into depth detail. Don't have to go into depth detail.
I'll just tell you my doctor was concerned, but I was clear. I got
it turned out to be something completely
But I wasn't gonna get it. I wasn't gonna get it to begin with. My doctor's like, Lisa, I know what's good for you. Just get it. Just do it. And I was like, okay. I trust you, doc. And so the doc had me getting up at 6 a.m. So yeah, I did it.
But you missed such a great freaking opportunity. Because I swear to God, when I go do mine, I am fucking going to film it. I am totally going to film it.
You know why I didn't film it?
Why?
Because I was there by myself and nobody to film it for me.
The thing is, you just have the best farts afterwards when they end up pulling it back out.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna go into depth detail. I'm pretty sure people in this room do not want to hear that. But when they pull it out, have you ever seen some of the videos of when they're done doing it, the farts that come out of these people?
Let me tell you who
fucking
needs to
hilarious.
film it. You know who needs to film it?
Who?
And if you're watching it, Ashley, I need a like when he's in the car video, his afterthoughts. Like I need the afterthoughts of my dad after his thing.
I want to film the gassiness.
No,
I just think it's going to be
funny.
fucking impressive. I think it'll be impressive.
Funny. Like,
hey, Nick.
It would be so funny. Now, if you go in, people, which some of you probably haven't done it. If you go in, please get the anesthetic. Okay, please get the whatever they hook you up to. Because trust me, you don't want to see 20 feet of colon.
You don't want them going. You don't want them going in raw.
You don't want to see it. Because
you don't want them going in raw. So there you go. Dwayne said, when a couple of uncles and an aunt passed away in their 50s, I used to think that being in your 50s was old. When my grandparents lived past 90, that changed.
Yeah.
Well, I used to think, well, I don't want to go into a big old freaking, therapy session here, but my dad died at my age at 54.
Yeah.
And my mom died at 50, but not that I take the best care of myself, but my dad he really did not take care of himself. He was really bad off. So was my mom. So I think I'm going to stick around. And also I think I feel like a younger 54 than they were, because they just seem like so old, or maybe just because of how old I was.
My dad's dad was in the same boat too.
Hey, William.
He just loved his smoking. One day, my dad is in the room, right? And my dad goes to try to talk to Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, Tony slumped over, and my dad goes, "That's when I knew." He was young. My dad was young. He was like Tony. He was 50, young.
William, you have a parrot that makes fart sounds? I got one better than that. When I was a kid, I was probably maybe about 8 or 9. We knew this kid who lived in the neighborhood. Really freaking weird kid. Kid was really fucking weird. His mom was really extremely hot, though. I'm talking blonde, almost like a music video vixen for that time. She was really, really hot.
Yeah.
And she used to make videos of herself with her and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was Mr. Rockstar or whatever, So she used to make videos of herself. He used to let us watch the videos. He wouldn't watch them himself, but he'd be like, "Oh, you want to see this? Look at my mom." And her. Really fucking weird. Really fucking weird. But the thing is, they had a parrot. They had a really fucking huge, expensive parrot that used to say stuff. And the parrot would do this thing where we were playing video games. We were playing fucking Nintendo or whatever at that time. And the parrot would start going,
Was that parrot moaning?
Yeah, he would start fucking going, and he would start fucking acting like he was having sex. And the parrot would go and I mean, the whole fucking thing. You know where he fucking got it from. Because the mom the mom was an adult. She'd do whatever she wanted in her own house.
I mean, let's just say she's a MILF.
She very much was so. Some of my early fantasies, my first little pee-pee boings, were over her. Believe me, trust me, they were. She was so freaking hot.
I mean, we all had people that we thought were hot. When I was 14 or 15, there was this teacher that taught science. He was 26. Mm-hmm. All the girls in the class thought he was super hot. They all wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
But his name was Mr. Hart. He had that he had that boyish look. You know who he kind of looked like?
Heavily, Nick. I was a pretty heavy smoker.
I'll tell you who he looked like. He looked like Kato Kalin. If you know, you know.
Kato Kalin. Doctors told my uncle that he had to quit smoking and drinking because he was going to die. He didn't listen and passed away from lung cancer and cirrhosis of the liver in his 50s.
I feel you on that, Dwayne, because I have an uncle that they told him to quit smoking, right? You know what he said? I've been doing it for 25 years. I'm not going to stop. And unfortunately, he passed away from a cancer related to smoking. So yeah, if you're thinking of quitting, just quit.
My aunt, who never smoked and hardly drank, passed away from cancer in her 50s due to her husband's secondhand smoke. I have heard of that.
Yeah, that happens.
That is starting to be it's something that they're starting to talk more and more about now, about people who like took in all the secondhand smoke who passed away from it. So it's like they were trying to, because I mean, remember back in the day when they would like it almost sounded like it was just paranoia. They would say, "Oh, well, you can't smoke around the baby, and you can't smoke, and if you're smoking, don't come inside the house and have smoke on your clothes." And now they're starting to do research and realize, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Remember? I don't know if you remember the old commercials they had during like maybe the early '90s, late '80s, where they would show a person. They would like be sitting on a balcony in an apartment complex, and they would be smoking a cigarette. And while they're smoking the cigarette, they would show the smoke is like drifting. It's going to other apartments. And there's one where the kids are playing. There's another one where couples watching TV. And they're saying all these people are getting secondhand smoke. They're saying all these people are smoking along with him.
Yeah.
And it was like it was supposed to be like some kind of warning.
I mean, I definitely know how it is because I'll be honest with you. Because we're honesty. My ex used to smoke a ton. And he used to smoke in a car a lot. And then one time I told him straight up, I said, "You're not going to smoke in the car anymore with me." And he stopped. I said, "I'm not going to be breathing in the car." Because he used to be a heavy smoker until he found weed. When he found weed, that's when he stopped. But you remember the commercial they showed with the lady with the hole in her?
Yes.
Oh my God, that scared the hell out of me.
I even remember what it was called because of that commercial when she said it was a stoma.
Emphysema or something.
I remember that. Yeah, she's all, "Don't get your stoma wet in the shower, and don't do this with your stoma." And it's like, yeah, that was another one of those videos.
That scared me as a kid because when that came out as a kid, that really scared me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna smoke." But
that's some scary shit.
Again, I grew up with a lot of people on my mom's side smoking anyway.
Yeah. Paulina said, I never would have pegged you as a smoker, Dusty. How long since you last smoked? 2010-ish? About 2010? So it's been about 16, 17 years, maybe 2009.
Wow.
2010, yeah. Yeah, but then at that point, I wasn't a heavy smoker anymore. When I was younger, I was a heavy smoker. By that point, it was like maybe a pack a week, maybe every week and a half. I was not a heavy smoker at that time. But I remember my first cigarette I had when I was 16. I remember I was 16 years old. I remember specifically my friend James was already smoking. He was smoking cigarettes. And he would smoke cigarettes and whatever, and I never inhaled. I was doing the whole thing, where you get the cigarette and you go,
yeah,
just to look cool and shit, And we were watching The Breakfast Club at my house, and he was smoking, and he turns around and goes, he's all, "You're just wasting cigarettes." He's all, "Don't even touch my cigarettes anymore." I was like, all right, whatever. He's all, "No," he's all, "You're gonna smoke this one," and he lights it. His fucking fault. He's got a special place in hell for him. No, just kidding. So he turns around, and he like has me, take a hit off it, and he goes, "Breathe in," and coughed everywhere. 2 or 3 puffs. I don't know what it is, the instinct to keep on doing it, but I did it until it was like, and I was like, ooh, got lightheaded, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was into it from that moment on, unfortunately. A lot of family and friends used to smoke around me, and I think I breathed a lot of it in. I'm sure you probably did.
Yeah, I've only smoked weed a few times.
My great grandmother was also a drinker, and she was an awful person for what my cousin told me. Yeesh. Dwayne said, I had another uncle who was a smoker, and one night he woke up with a bad cough, and he threw the cigarettes away. Cancer prostate did claim him in his 80s.
You lost a lot of people in your family, Dwayne.
As a kid, all the adults smoked in the room with the children. Remember people smoking? Yes, I remember you were able to smoke I remember I was DJing in a nightclub the night that California, canceled smoking. I was DJing a club, and they said after midnight tonight, no one could smoke cigarettes in the club, and people were pissed. Because you used to walk to a nightclub or a bar, and it was just like you couldn't even see. And sure enough, at midnight, everybody freaking went outside. I think half of the people left.
I
You know,
mean,
so.
you want to know what's ruthless?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what's ruthless. One of my uncles,
Mm-hmm.
he's still alive, by the way. One of my uncles decided he was going to go and light up a cigarette as my other uncle was being cremated in the crematorium. I was like, this is not the time to be smoking. And he looks at me and he goes, I don't care. And I was like, man, I was like, one of your brothers is being cremated. And you're sitting here lighting a cigarette. And you know what's crazy about it? Is that my uncle who got cremated died from a smoking related cancer. And he's sitting
Mm-hmm.
there smoking it like, I don't give a care. He goes, I survived cancer. I can smoke all I want. I was like, okay, dude. That's your
Well,
prerogative. That's your
Leonard Nimoy
prerogative.
quit smoking, but COPD got him long after he quit smoking. Ginger Baker passed away from issues. Yeah, COPD usually will take its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had actually read about that not too long ago about Leonard Nimoy, how he had passed away from smoking years after, he had already quit.
Also, what's his name? Joe Cocker had quit
Mm-hmm.
smoking, and then years later, he ended up with lung cancer.
It was thought of as cool in the 50s and 60s. They used to
Yeah.
they were marketing it to women, that women had their own types of cigarettes. I remember when women had long, thin cigarettes, and nowadays, if you like smoke a cigarette in public, people look at you like you got a third head. They're like, look at you like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? They look at you like, oh, how gross. Oh, how,
Well,
you
'cause
fucking dinosaur.
it was very big in the 40s and the 50s to smoke. I mean, my dad's dad was a cigar smoker.
Said, me too, Lisa. Only smoked weed a few times.
Well, no, that's bullshit, Nick. You smoked weed more than I did.
I just can't picture Lisa smoking weed. I can picture doing edibles, but I can't picture you smoking.
I smoked weed. Let me tell you when I smoked weed.
Hitting the bowl and
I smoked weed.
Hitting the bowl and shit.
I smoked weed when I went to go and see this band called Foils.
Mm-hmm.
They're an indie band.
How convenient their name was Foils.
Foils, yeah. No, they're a good band. They're a good band. They're from the UK.
You sure it was weed you were smoking? It wasn't crystal meth?
No, it was weed.
You're talking about foil? It was like heroin or something?
No, it was weed. My ex had bought it from some weed store he knew in LA. Yeah.
I'm thinking he could have gave you fucking oregano and you would have been like, oh, this is
no. That guy was high a lot of times. Okay?
You'd be like, damn. You'd be like freaking, I'm so high, I want to kiss Jesus.
I know the smell of oregano. I use it in Italian food a lot. But that would have been funny if he did give me oregano, because let's be really honest. The first time I did it, it's very common the first time you smoke weed, I coughed a lot because it was going down my pipe and it was just like, whoa. And then I started coughing. And then, so the first time I actually smoked weed was at the 21 Pilots concert at the Greek Theater. It was before we went to see 21 Pilots. So I had, smoked a couple of joints. Because I was like,
I'm smoking around now.
I was like, man, I need to, get the 21 Pilots vibe. So,
you smoked a couple of joints?
But not really a couple, like one or two puffs.
I see. Yeah, I was about to say, let's be reasonable. I could see you being like a one or two hitter quitter.
Yeah, but you know what? What was cool was when I went to the show, there was this guy outside selling this immaculate shirt for $10, and I bought it. You know the guys outside of the concert? You know the guys outside the concert sell these really nice shirts, and you can't tell the difference. So I bought a shirt from this guy. It's the 21 Pilots, and it had all the names spelled right. So yeah, I still have the shirt.
Did he come to you? He's like, "Oh, do you want a T-shirt? It said 21 Pilot, a 21 Pilot shirt. It's good.
I'm sure you have bought some shirts for those vendors.
Yes, of course.
A lot.
Like I already taught my daughter the game, man. You end up turning around, you wait, and if it's the last tourist stop before they go over to like some other country, they will fucking sell those shirts for dirt cheap. I would tell her, I'd be like, just wait. I said, just sit here and wait. And I would tell her, there's a trick to this. You can get those shirts for dirt cheap. Watch.
Yeah.
And she's all, what? And I said, just stand here. And I gave her a 20. And I told her, here, hold the 20 in your hand and ask the guy how much he wants for it. And then just turn around, and when he tells you the price, just go, oh, no, too much. And I said, I can guarantee you, you wait like 15 minutes, they're all going to run over to you. Like, what do you want? What do you want? And be like, oh, 10. I'll give you 10 for it. And they will start loading them off. What the fuck are you doing, Lisa?
I'm looking for something.
Oh, it sounds like you're blowing your nose.
No, I thought I had something
Weed.
here.
Paulina for the win.
I mean, Paulina, I'm an emo smoker. I'm an emo smoker.
Hello, Kimba. Lovely to see you. We have not
Hey,
seen you for a
Kimba.
while. We've not seen you for a while. So yeah, so I tried that trick about the I call them the Woody hunting shirts.
Yeah.
You know, they're called Woody hunting shirts because, you know, everybody's seen the episode, I'm sure, Martin, you know, where him and Brother Man are trying to sell the t-shirts, and he discovers that Brother Man can't spell Whitney Houston. So he writes Woody Hutton, and he puts his own picture on there with a wig. So yeah, so we call them Woody Hutton shirts. He said, "Hi, Kimba. Lisa shuts off her camera to smoke weed." Okay, Lisa, show us your bong. Show us your bong, Lisa. I know that Lisa's got a fucking K-pop bong back there. It's got like some freaking BTS shit on it or something. Show it to us.
You know what's the funny thing about it is? The funny thing about it is people, you know, the first time you smoke weed, you get this kind of euphoric feeling over you. I remember, you know, like about 4, maybe close to three out of the 5 concerts of Tame Impala that I went to, I was high because I was like, you have to enjoy Tame Impala a certain way. So I got in high. And I remember when they were playing, It Feels Like Going Backwards. When you're high, it has a whole different meaning. I was going backwards.
You were literally going backwards.
The last tour that I saw him at, I did not have any drugs. No one brought any drugs. It was kind of boring. I was like, boo, no drugs. I was
about to say, you were literally going backwards.
Yeah, and then when first time I saw them, people were passing around like a joint. They're like, "Hey, you want to smoke a joint?" This guy was passing joints to everybody.
So, Kimba said something here that I find concerning. I did not know this. I'm going to do more. She said melatonin increases your risk of heart failure. Be careful. I did not know that because I take melatonin gummies when I can't sleep. I don't know how high the concentration is. Now, the thing that I had heard was always a risk when you take melatonin was that you start to deplete your natural levels of melatonin and it becomes more difficult over time for you to produce it. Because it's something you naturally produce, but I didn't know that it could cause fucking heart disease. That's crazy.
I don't take melatonin.
Lisa has Richard Dolan bong. Don't we all? I'm like, oh, don't we all? I want a Richard Dolan bong.
Can you just like get that one face that Lionel Richie has of him?
There, it's fucking Dolan. If you're fucking watching right now, Dolan, product placement. Your face on a fucking bong, man. Get it done. Yeah. People will buy it. I can guarantee you. How many people in the fucking vinyl community would buy fucking Richard Dolan bongs? Especially with that face, like you said, that Vinyl Richie has on his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Everybody buy a fucking
I don't
Dolan
take a
bong.
melatonin. Is there any substantial benefits to taking a melatonin? I don't.
It helps you fall asleep if you have trouble sleeping. I don't think you have trouble sleeping, so.
No. I have weird sleeping habits. I do take a nap at times. A lot of times. But if I don't take that one nap, I can't function.
You see the Aqua Teen where Carl tried selling fake Chicago teas and they ended up saying Chicago. That's basically what the Woody Hutton joke was. It was like the same thing, but that sounds fucking hilarious. No, I haven't seen that, but now I'm going to look that up when I'm done streaming tonight. Yes, there was a study on melatonin. Please Google the research. I'm going to check that out because that is pretty scary. I did not know that.
Nobody wants heart failure.
I'll try not to take one tonight and see if it works. What if your heart immediately heals or if you can get to sleep?
Well, I never take melatonin because for me it's like, I take 2 medicines. And that's all I take. And one of them is probiotics. But other than that, it's like, I don't want to start getting on the melatonin.
I think casual use is okay, but long term it poses a higher risk. Just wanted to keep you all here. Oh, thank you, Kimba.
Well, thank you, Kimba. That's good to know because one time I used to take sleeping aids, but I'm not allowed to anymore. But I used to take them.
Why are you're not allowed to anymore?
That's a long story, guys.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm not gonna say it on the stream, but anyways.
But yeah, I usually, like I said, I take melatonin gummies. I think when I really got into them though was CVS used to do this thing where you would buy one get one free, and we used to stock up on them. You know, melatonin gummies. I used to like. Yeah, but the thing that's bad about melatonin gummies is that you don't stay asleep. It seems like it's enough to get you over the hump, like you'll fall asleep. But for me, it's like I was having such bad bouts of insomnia that I would go ahead and I would take it, and I would knock out at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and then I would at 3 o'clock I'd be back up. You know, so. You know, so yeah, so it didn't exactly probably work the way it was supposed to on me, but I have a lot of stress in my life, so medicinal weed might help to calm my mind. Yes, it would, most definitely.
I mean, guys, weed. Nobody has really died from weed. I say take the weed, enjoy the weed. I mean, to tell you the truth, some people would be a lot nicer if they were on weed.
I tend to have a hard time falling asleep. Last year, I totally got messed up and was up 26 hours a day. One day I was up 36 hours once I took melatonin and was able to fix my sleep schedule. See, that's what I think maybe that's what probably melatonin gummies and stuff is actually really meant for. Is for when you're really, really having like, you know, for the person who's more casual, I guess, when it comes to insomnia, you know, they don't take sleeping pills. They don't take anything like that. So maybe they just need a couple of, you know, melatonin just to knock them out and you can stay asleep, you know, but me, it's like me, I had like a hardcore freaking insomnia problem, you know. Dusty, I'm high on life.
Well, isn't everybody high on life? Most people are.
I'm a night owl too, always writing down lists of CDs and vinyl I hope to order from Japan on Discogs. I'm very much a night person.
I'm a night owl too. I you know I like to put on Netflix, which reminds me there's this show that came back. I think I told you about it. I've been watching this show called My Crazy Ex. Oh my God, some of the stories on that particular show are crazy, and you're like, whoa, that really did happen?
Well, crazy, hence My Crazy Ex.
But some of them actually end up dead. Some of them actually end up dead.
You know what that reminds me of? There was a show that was on, I think it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was John Waters. And what it was every week he would be at a wedding, he'd be at a reception, where he's kind of like introducing the characters to the show of that episode. Yeah. And the reason why he was there is because the couple was going to kill each other, or one was going to kill the other. I forgot what the name of it was, but it was a really good show. And John Waters would like walk you through the actual, how it actually happened and stuff like that. But it was funny because he like always like kind of like make jokes, you know, pertaining to how they killed each other, whatever it may have been.
I'm watching a couple of these shows. I'm watching My Crazy Ex, and I'm watching Worst Roommate Ever. And
Worst Roommate Ever.
And because I try to watch Beef again, and I don't know, I can't get through second season like I thought I could.
I would think that's not that easy to find anymore. Hearing Aid. I saw somebody actually do a video not too long ago on YouTube. I don't remember what Vinyl Community channel it was, but somebody had found that. So,
well,
I take Circle to help me fall asleep better. Not a single person has ever died from cannabis. You might think you are, but nope.
Well, if it's laced with other stuff.
Well, yeah, if it's laced with other stuff. But there's been, I mean, when I first started smoking some of the new strains, I thought I was going to fucking die. I really was like, oh my God, I fucking broke something. I am way too fucking high. Yeah. You know, I got so high that I was paranoid high. You know, scared that I was going to like stop breathing or some shit.
We should come on a stream high. It would be funny.
Hey, Jen, how you doing?
Hey, Jen.
William Archer says, hey, B. Hey, Jenny. I've been watching Crate Diggers. Nice. Besides, hello, Jenna. As for me, Unsolved Mysteries, Robert Stack. Used to like that show a lot too myself.
Me too. Jenny, I mean, they have it on Netflix. And the thing about that show is, as a kid, when I watched it, I thought it was very interesting. And he had such a unique voice, Robert Stack. It's really made the show, but I wonder if some of those cases from those shows ever got solved. I wonder.
I think some of them might have gotten solved because they were on Unsolved Mysteries.
And also America's Most Wanted helped too.
Yes, we are up late. Well, actually, for us, it's still kind of early. It's only 8:30, but
it is 8:30 here.
For some of the people on the East Coast, it's like 11:30 right now.
So a movie trailer just came out, and I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this actor called Dominic. I think his name is Dominic Sessa or Ciesa.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Okay.
playing. They're doing a movie about Anthony Bourdain, and he's playing Anthony Bourdain, which I'm kind of interested in seeing the movie
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
like Anthony Bourdain. So it's gonna be interesting. It talks about him getting into cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. The guy does not look like Anthony Bourdain, but he has the height
Yeah.
of Anthony Bourdain and the skinny stature. And I
Yeah.
went to look up Anthony Bourdain, and
Mm-hmm.
it has been about almost 8 or 9 years since he's passed.
It's been that long already.
Yep, he passed
That is
away.
like crazy.
No, he passed away in 2018, so about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like the movie intrigues me because I remember watching his show,
Mm-hmm.
the show that he had on Food Network, and now it was on CNN. Yeah, crazy, but it should be an interesting movie.
It's crazy. It's been that long already.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he passed away in 2018.
Time is fucking flying now that I'm older. It is really fucking flying.
You have one of his books. I don't have any of his books, but I like his TV show.
One of my favorite unsolved mysteries on the show is Tammy Lynn Leppert, who was an extra in Scarface that disappeared in 1983.
I remember seeing that
Let me see.
episode. I watched a lot of the episodes, and some of them I'd watch on repeat. But
Mm-hmm.
that show really did open the eyes to cases that there's a case that I
Mm-hmm.
read about recently in I would think it was Iowa or it might have been Nebraska that had been solved for 60 plus years, and
Mm-hmm.
they finally solved it. The guy had gone on to live his life, and you know how old the guy is? The guy's like late 80s, 90. And they finally found the killer. I was like, well, he's gonna
Mm.
die soon, so at least you
Um,
found him.
I think on YouTube, on one of those, because there's so many channels now where they do the police
Yeah.
chest cams and stuff like that. And I guess there was one where they showed these police officers who were interviewing and arresting a man who was almost 90 years old, and they were arresting him for a murder that happened like during the 60s or 70s
Yeah.
or something of that sort. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, the technology catches up with you, and they
It does.
have. There's no statute of limitations for murder, for one thing, and then also when the technology catches up, they do not give a shit if you're 90 years old. They will put you away for what's left.
Yeah,
what
the
you have
guy,
left.
the guy,
They
I think
do not give a
was,
shit.
I think
Yeah.
the guy was 90, but I also
Mhm.
read about one in the UK where the guy was like 84 and technology
Mhm.
cop. You know what's another good channel I
Mhm.
like to watch is the LA Police Chase channel. Where they
I
have the
do, but
chases.
you know what? I'm starting to think, in my opinion, that I think a lot of people are starting to do these car chases for the fame. They're glory riders,
Probably, yeah.
and it's because they know nothing's going to happen to them. Most of the time, most of these fuckers already know that they just drive to LAX and they're going to get lost. You know, because the LAX, all the helicopters stop. Once they hit LAX's airspace, all the helicopters stop, and they could just go ahead and get out of whatever car they stole, and they could just run,
I
and they
mean,
get away with it.
we've had
You know?
cars that have came down through where I live because I live by the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had cars come by, and I remember one time watching news, and they're like, "There's a high speed chase on Valley Boulevard." I was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, by where you live, by where you live, there's like fucking one every like other week, Lisa, out there
Yeah,
in the Alhambra, Los
but
Angeles area.
there is, but
Uh-huh.
it doesn't go through Alhambra a lot. It's
Mhm.
more like on a 7. I'm doxing.
Yeah.
I'm doxing myself. I better
Well,
be careful.
you've told everybody where you're at, Lisa.
But you know,
Uh-huh.
but you know what?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, my town is boring. You can go look up my city. It's boring.
Now the thing with me is, if they are brave enough, they think that they get jiggy enough, and they think they're going to head to Mexico, which is a stupid move because you can't get over the fucking border.
Yeah.
I don't mean anyone with half a brain who has ever been to the border knows you're not just going to fly over the fucking border in a car. It's not going to fucking happen. But if they get jiggy enough, I've had a couple where they thought they were heading to Mexico and they've come through here. I think there was one. What was the one where I was on the phone with you and Paulina and the guy was coming through because he thought he was going to go to Mexico, obviously,
I
and
don't remember.
he drove past me on the 5 because the 5 is like right out here. Yeah, he drove like right past me, And I was just like, I could hear the sirens going, and the helicopters going right over. There were people who were incarcerated for murders that they didn't commit due to modern technology. They were cleared of the crime. They had to be financially compensated. Now, the thing that is scary about that is people that are on death row. Because there's been a couple that have been exonerated.
Yeah.
And they've been let go because new evidence or someone else has confessed or something of that sort. But then again, when it comes to that, sometimes it's like, I don't know how much. Okay, so they get somebody else's confession. Okay, so what if like, okay, like say me and Lisa are murderers.
Yeah.
Me and Lisa are murderers.
Yeah.
And Lisa kills someone, and I kill someone, and she gets life, or she gets, they sentence her to death, and they sentence me to death. But in my final act, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make sure Lisa gets off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know what? I killed that motherfucker myself. Lisa didn't do it. I did it. So they go ahead and they say, "Oh, so you killed him." Now I'm wondering what kind of proof and what kind do they go through another?
Well, they
trial?
have to have to prove the fact that you actually killed the person versus me, because there is this actual organization called the Innocence.
Citizens are funny.
There's this organization called the Innocence Project that aims to prove that people are innocent of what they did. Because if you remember, the most famous case where they proved the people are innocent was those three guys that they thought killed those kids. You remember the name? I think the guy's name. One of them was Damian Nichols.
Mm-hmm.
I think 9 Inch Nails might have talked about him, or somebody. A lot of celebrities talked about him. But the thing about it is, if they want to prove that you did the murder over me, they would have to have the DNA tested, because DNA can prove that you did it, but it can also prove that you and me both had our hands on the murder weapon, and they had a mixture of both of our DNAs. So therefore, me and you could still end up on death penalty unless I somehow confess that I, didn't kill, and I go for a plea bargain. And they can go and lessen my sentence. Instead of getting a death penalty, I can get life in prison, which is still a motherfucking travesty. Yeah.
I don't know, but Lisa looks like she's got bodies under her floorboards, so we might want to check that. Somebody might want to check that shit.
There was a time when I was watching that stuff with my dad a lot.
Hey, Dreamscape.
We watched a lot of, and William, I like watching. My favorite channel right now to watch is I like watching Truly Criminal, 48 Hours, Dateline. There's this one channel called True Crime, and then I like also watching 2020.
2020 used to be good. I don't think it's good anymore like it used to be.
I watched some of them, not all of them. Some of them are good, and some of them are just so, oh my God. Like when it comes to actual true crime shows or true crime, I like 48 Hours Dateline. I think they do a pretty 48 hours is better than Dateline.
I had an ex-girlfriend who was obsessed with that TV show Snapped. And that used to make me feel some sort of way. That used to creep me out because, you already know, Snapped, every episode was a woman who fucking went nuts and they killed either, their husband or their boyfriend. And it wasn't always for the right reasons. There was some where, I'm not judge and juror and I'm not, but there was a couple of them where there was instances where it was proven that the man was beating the crap out of the woman or, horrible things were happening. So, she would murder him, but she would still try and get away with it. But there was a lot of instances, too, where, the woman was having an affair and she just wanted to get the money from her husband to get rid of him because she wanted to go off with his boyfriend.
Policy.
Yeah, and stuff like that. But, yeah, that show used to creep me out because it... I was watching one just recently because there's a lot of true crime on YouTube now. There's a lot of great channels that do intense, in-depth freaking documentaries where you're there for an hour and they will draw you in, and they'll tell you what, a whole story. There was one I was watching the other night where they were talking about this woman who killed her husband, and she was sticking, was it ethanol glycol?
Yeah, if you mix that up into something, if you mix it into a clear drink, you won't even notice it's there.
Well, she made root beer floats. She was making root beer
Ooh.
floats, and she stuck the ethanol glycol in it. And they said the only reason why they had any kind of inkling that something was going on, so they said it was Christmas. This cold-hearted bitch did on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, the family's getting together, and they're all like, having a good time. So she makes a root beer float, and she gives it to her husband, and she made them all root beer floats. Well, anyways, the little girl finishes her root beer float and goes, I want some of Papa's, root beer float. And she screams, it goes like, no, get away, she starts yelling and screaming, and almost smacks her to get her away. And people are like, wow, why are you so freaked out about her touching, Dad's float? What's going on with that, Well, I guess what happened was she and the daughter were involved in getting rid of him, his stepdaughter, because it wasn't even his family. He was married to the woman, and all the kids and the grandkids were her grandkids, but he was like the grandfather.
How much
whatever.
You want to bet
So
she had a life insurance policy on him?
She did. She had a very big life insurance policy.
And she wanted to kill him. So she was like, if I do this, they can't prove that, But with toxicology reports.
Toxicology, yeah.
I can't even say that word. They can prove things like that. It's in the system.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that I saw similar where the mom, she'd been married a few times, and her husband suddenly were dying. Mm-hmm. And they were like, this is weird. So, this lady's like, killing her husbands. I think she was on husband number 3 or 2.
Yeah. So,
her husbands are dying. And then the next thing she was like, oh, let me go and try to kill my own daughter. So she goes and she puts some kind of antifreeze into her iced tea, her daughter's iced tea. Okay. Her daughter survives, and her daughter testifies on the stand and said, my mom tried to kill me, but she wasn't successful with killing me. But her 2 other husbands, she did kill. Her first husband, she killed, and they didn't think anything of it because they were like, oh, they put his death as heart attack. And then
that's what happened with this one. With her husband, they put the death as a heart attack, but it came out later on that not only had she killed this husband, she'd killed one previously. And they said that something had happened to someone who was involved with the daughter. So they were saying it was unusual that all these men were dying around them. So they kind of caught on, what was going on. Plus also they left a paper trail ordering this shit online from Amazon. That'll fucking do it. So basically what happened was they both ended up getting caught. And when they got caught, when they started getting on the heels of the mother, she turned around and just offed herself. She killed herself. She drank the ethanol glycol. Killed herself.
It is very true. It's very true what you said, Sean. Most abuse happens between family members. We think it's a strange something, but 75% the family members need protection. It's sad when you think about it. I was just watching a case today of a guy in the UK. He stayed with his girlfriend, even though the fact that she was abusing him. He stayed because they got 2 kids together, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think what finally got him to leave the relationship was when they told him, hey, you're going to die if you stay in this relationship. Because but the thing with abuse, is that's how a lot of these people end up the way they are. Killing people is because they deal with a lot of abuse in their family. If you ever watch those documentaries about people who kill people, a lot of them who kill a lot of people, they've been abused. They've been abused as young people, and they take that on to their adulthood. It affects them. Abuse affects people, but not everybody ends up being crazy due to abuse. Not everybody does that.
My dad's adopted brother, ex-wife, treated my cousin very poorly and neglected her a lot.
Wow.
You know what I've been noticing was a lot of these webcam channels, because basically a lot of these channels, what they do is they go and they purchase the webcam footage for most of these cases. Like they'll look up cases online and they'll find the stories behind them, and then they'll end up buying the webcam footage, which usually the webcam footage is made public and you can purchase it after so much time. So usually most of them are like a year old, the cases and stuff like that. So, but what I've noticed with most of these is they were saying now it's becoming more and more common for men to be abused by women because men will not report it. They
because
said,
they feel
yeah.
shame. They feel shame. I think the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it is in society we are taught that
Mm-hmm.
the people who get abused the most are women, but men do get
Mm-hmm.
abused by women, but men don't want to report it because it's looked down upon them. If they report that they're being abused by the person that
Mm-hmm.
they love, people look at them, they laugh at them, and they're like, "No, you're lying." But you know what? It's not as common as women being abused, but men do get abused. Some women, they just get too crazy and they get this mentality that they don't
Mm-hmm.
want the guy to be with anybody else. And they're always thinking, is he cheating on me? Is he cheating on me? They get this kind of paranoia, and that's
Yeah.
what leads to them. Like this one I watched, the lady was she was always constantly paranoid that her boyfriend was
Mm-hmm.
cheating, and he wasn't doing
Yeah.
any of that. She even went at a wedding they were at, and she yelled at this girl at the party who had nothing to do with him. She's like, "Are
Mm-hmm.
you cheating on my boyfriend? Are you having sex with my boyfriend? I know you are." And the boyfriend was like
Mm-hmm.
spooked out, and they broke up. And then she went and said, "I love you so much. Let's get back
Well,
together."
I
And
mean,
he got back with her.
some women just don't have any filter. They don't have any filter when their feelings are like overpowering. They go ahead and they roll with it. Like
Yep.
Kim said, covert narcissism in family can be really bad. Yes. No, I mean, the thing. It seems like more recently, you hear a lot about narcissism now. You hear a lot about people claiming that person's a narcissist. Blah 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 blah, and I'm starting to think that narcissism has to be kind of like autism. It's on a spectrum. I think it's a spectrum. I think some people are more narcissistic than others. I mean, because like they say that everybody could have a little bit of narcissism in them, but I think that means vanity. I don't think that means like narcissistic traits, necessarily. So, but yeah, because I've dated a couple of narcissists in my time, and like I said, they will drive you crazy enough to where you will actually question yourself whether or not you are a narcissist. Am I the narcissist?
Or you'll
And
question if you're the
yeah,
problem.
yeah, and I have been told that by a therapist that when you question yourself, are you a narcissist, and you take stock of yourself, that is the one good inkling that you are not a narcissist. Because if you question, because a narcissist will not question themselves. They will not question their motives. They will not question anything about themselves. They are perfect to themselves. They have this illusion of grandeur that they are whatever they are.
Yeah.
So if you question yourself and you put yourself in a position where you feel you might, more than likely you're not. If you question yourself, so.
I mean, it is
Uh
very
huh.
true because, as I said in the past,
Mm-hmm.
my brother has that kind of tendencies.
I was a product of childhood abuse. My stepmom beat me from 1991 to 1993. She
She,
used both physical and
right.
psychological abuse. I still struggle with depression and suicide from it. The scar tissue never heals. I hope that you're getting some kind of therapy for that, Paulina. I mean, it never hurts to go find somebody to
No,
talk to.
you need to get some therapy
Mm-hmm.
because when you think about it, when you think
Mm-hmm.
about things like that, I mean, I dealt with I dealt with the verbal stuff, but I that's why it's always good to talk with someone and make sure you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because man, I hope you don't talk to her anymore. What a piece of shit.
Believe it or not, abused children don't want to testify against a parent or sibling.
Nope.
The entire issue of love and hate gets confusing. Unfortunately, we are providing fewer protection as a society. It's true. Yeah, it's most definitely true. I mean, that's happening a lot now where there's children that are falling in between the cracks and horrible things are happening because, I mean, you hear of like CPS doing multiple visits on a house and, they're not, taking the children out of the house, when there's things going on and they know it. I have depression too. Most of my dad's adoptive family treated me poorly and infantilized me. Even as an adult, now I'm estranged from them and they don't really care. Oh, sorry about that.
I mean, it's very true what you
Our
said,
narcissism
Sean.
predator triad.
It's really true what you say,
Uh
Sean,
huh.
because even women who are married to men that abuse them, right?
Mm
It's hard for them to just say, "Oh, I'm going to leave," because sometimes these people will have you so what's the word I want to say? They have
hmm. Uh
you
huh.
so not brain dead. They just have you so believing that they're not a bad person. And I'm trying to think of what the word
Mm
is that
hmm.
I would say about that is um brainwashed. They have you brainwashed into believing they
Uh-huh.
are this great person while they're beating you up. And the kids, one parent will always try to pit a kid against another parent and say that parent is bad to you. Or, you hear a lot about kids who get abused by their parents, and the reason why they don't tell the authorities is because
Mm-hmm.
they're afraid of their parents. Their parents have told them, if you say something, something's going to happen to you. And, I'm never going to love you again. It sucks. It sucks. And it happens. It sucks. We became the Dr. Phil show today, guys.
Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, it's like, yeah, what we're talking about is something a lot of people deal with.
It is
a lot
very,
of people do.
it is very common.
So yeah,
it is very common that.
But I do agree with what Sean's saying here. We toss these terms around without any real knowledge, which is true. We don't have the formal training, of course.
We don't.
We don't have the formal training that we should probably end up having. So a lot of these, circumstances. But I mean, the thing is also, it's like, I think with certain things, I think it's very easy to spot it. It's like I'm not an expert when it comes to birds or waterfowl, but I mean, I can see a duck and be like, okay, that's a duck, but the thing is, I can't tell you, okay, well, that's a duck who's from North America, or that's a duck from a Canadian geese, or I can't tell you anything that's specific, but I could tell you it's a duck. And I think that's when it comes to like a narcissist, I could kind of like go, okay, well, okay, I know the simplistic parts of it.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see, they have a lot of the things that are in the DSM-5, but I'm not a professional. Most definitely I'm not.
No, I'm not a professional either. I just go by, simple things that I see, and I can kind of surmise what is happening in the situation. But I by no means would say I'm a professional. I don't know every single detail of things, but when someone comes up to me and they, in the most simplistic terms, they say, "Oh, this is happening to me," you want to sympathize with them, and you want to, offer your shoulder. But I by no means have a degree in it. My sister does. My sister has a degree in psychology and education, so she, from time to time, will give me her advice from a psychology standpoint, because you have to go to college for that.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, like I'm 54 and I'm barely starting to see a therapist again now.
Yeah.
At my age, because there was a lot of things I was starting to. And I think the reason why I started to go see a therapist again was because of my doctor, because it really wasn't on my radar. It wasn't something that was in my list of things to do right now. It's kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And it was because my doctor was concerned about the weight, and he said, okay, well, you know what? Maybe one of the reasons why you have gained the weight, and one of the reasons is you're overeating, is there's some other underlying things going on in your life that maybe you need to address. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you to a therapist to speak to you for a little bit, and blah, blah, blah. And I swear to God, I went to the therapist. I hadn't seen a therapist since I was maybe like 17 or 18 years old. And when I talked to the therapist, things started to come out that I was like, oh shit. I am fucked up in a lot of ways, but everybody's, fucked up to a certain extent,
everybody is. I mean, it's good to go see a therapist, because a therapist could, bring some closure to something that you didn't know you need closure to. It can help you in many profound ways to see somebody and talk to them. When people say, oh, I'm above seeing a therapist, or I'm above going to getting counseling, you're not above it. I think, no one is above it. I think if you need it, go to it. You too, Tanya. If you need therapy, go to it.
Tanya. Well, that was kind of mean to say to someone just coming in, Lisa.
No. I'm saying.
I'm like, oh, Jesus.
No. This is what I mean. I was like, if you need it, go to it.
And then Lisa's kind of like, I wonder why people are like, get like that with me.
Sorry.
She masked it by smiling and laughing in my presence, and embarrassing me in the process. This is control freak behind the scenes.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Nothing too extreme.
I'm just saying, don't be.
Hey,
I'm just saying, if you need it, Tanya, and it's there, take advantage of it. But Tanya, I feel like you and the therapist would be good friends, because I feel like Tanya can hold her own when it comes to therapy.
Tanya, I think Tanya has a very good sense of self.
Yeah.
Where she comes in and we're like all trying to fucking analyze her. She's probably like, fuck you guys. I just came in here to chill. What the fuck?
Sorry, Tanya. I wasn't.
She's like, oh, what the fuck, man?
I wasn't trying to come from a mean point of view. I I was just saying that if you need it, it's there, and people should take advantage if they need it.
Okay, at least you gotta know when to
Sorry.
drop the ball. You gotta know when to drop the ball and stop. I've noticed you keep on going. It's like, Lisa, okay, you can drop it now. No, but it's like, no, I was gonna say it's, okay, like William Archer said, I was bullied too, and then my parents became great friends with the parents of those ex-friends who I shared nothing in common with, and I was often forced to see them. So, Tanya Z, hello. I make therapists cry. The move from Melbourne to Perth finally got me away from them. Yeah, I mean, the thing was that there's a lyric that a band has. And I was like going, damn, if I was younger and I was still getting all kinds of tattoos, I would get that tattooed on me. It's this band called Kettle Cadaver. Freaking like this gothic band from, fucking Bakersfield or whatever. I mean, crazy shit. Lancaster, I'm sorry. Crazy. But anyways, he was a really fucked up individual, this guy, the lead singer, But he wrote something in one of his songs that was about his the trauma that he had experienced because of his brother dying and his father dying and his mother dying. And the saying was, he said, dead hands dig deep. And I was kind of tripping out on when he said that, because it's like, even though they're dead, we're still here. And the things that the trauma they caused us, we still feel it. So it's like, dead hands can still dig deep. I just thought it was such a fucking crazy saying. It's just like, bam, hit me like a ton of bricks, And I was like, damn, I should freaking, if I was like, if I was like still getting tattoos, I'd get that tattooed on me. Reason why I say it is because my therapist had told me, because we were talking about my mother, not going back there again, not going into the full details, but I was like saying, I said, but she's gone. So what, my father's gone, my mom's gone, but like she was saying, she's like, oh, the dead still affect us. It still affects us. We're still here because we're living. Hello, Dwayne. William, have you gone no contact? William Archer, no surprise. Oh, William, have you gone no contact? William was okay. No surprise. One of my favorite groups is Dio. Some of his lyrics resonate heavily for me. As effed up as say, for example, Gigi. He made Gigi Allen look like freaking Lionel Richie. He really did. I mean, this guy was crazy. His name was Edwin Borsheim, and the band was called Kettle Cadaver. And he was married to Eva O, who was she was in the band Christian Death with Roz Williams, the one I always talk about, Roz Williams, and was friends with Rick Agnew. But this guy used to do crazy stuff like, piercing his genitals on stage and stapling himself and just cutting himself open to bleed everywhere. I mean, this guy was just crazy. If you ever get a chance, Tanya, look it up. You're going to be like, what? It's Kettle Cadaver, Edward Borsheim. He was fucking just crazy. Dwayne said, the living years from Mike and the Mechanics has very profound lyrics. I don't think I've ever really, really gone over the lyrics for that. I mean, I've got the CD here somewhere in my music hoard.
I have not listened to that in a while.
Mm-hmm. Gigi Allen. Kimber, with those ex-friends, but I can't live independently due to finances.
I get it.
I feel that, especially in today's economy. Oh my God, I love Mike and the Mechanics. Silent Running is one of my very favorite songs. But at least my current unit was converted from the old workshop at my parents' place. So I get more privacy than ever before. My very... Tanya's I shall look it up, Dusty. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff, Tanya. I know that Tanya has, she's like me. She has a morbid curiosity, because I know I have a very, very morbid curiosity sometimes. I mean, there's times like there's this one girl that I watch on YouTube. Her name is Darby Valentine. She's become like my new obsession. She's like this gothic punk chick, and she just does all these things on all these death core videos, stuff like that, like Traces of Death, Faces of Death, all that stuff, all the Mondo Kane stuff, Mondo core and stuff. And I've been kind of like deep diving a lot of shit. It's like a lot of people would be really surprised if they saw some of the shit that I watch. That's understandable, William. Always wishing you the best. Thumbs up. Kimba, thanks so much. You know, sometimes Lisa can be pretty twisted herself, though.
Depends on the situation. I mean, I'm not twisted to the point where I would go and kill somebody, but you know,
she's up, but I'll read about it.
Because it interests me to see what goes in the mind of someone, what leads them up to what they do. It intrigues me, but I don't know every single thing there is to know about that stuff. People who know that's crazy.
You know, the thing that I always think of when people talk about people that can actually murder or people that are murderers.
Yeah.
The thing that comes to mind with me is there was a scene in the movie Natural Born Killers. And I know I shouldn't refer to movies because they're movies. You know, that's not real life. But there's this part where Woody Harrelson's talking to freaking Robert Downey Jr. They're doing the interview. And he turns around, he like says something to the extent, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember how the exact line was. But he's like telling him, he says, you know, you people, all you normal people, you're all sheep and I'm a wolf. And he says, you know, no one tells the wolf that he can't kill or hunt for sport or for game or for food, you know, and kill another animal. He just does it. It's instilled in him. He does it.
Yeah.
And he says, that's what I am. I'm a wolf. He's all. And when he said that, I kind of thought about that. And I was thinking, maybe that's what murderers and serial killers and stuff are, is that they have this murderous streak in them that to them, it's perfectly normal. To them, it's like, this is the way they naturally are. And they don't feel like they have to abide by society's rules or anything. It's like, no, they're like on an animalistic level where it's like, you know, that person's irritating me. And you know what, if they, you know, like if a wolf or a cat or a dog is irritated by another animal, they kill it, you know? And I think that's the way they are. They're just kind of like, you know, that thing's irritating me, I'm going to fucking kill it. It's, you know, and they just don't think about it.
They don't think about it. Cause a lot of these like serial killers or people who kill, a lot of them, you know, grew up in families that were volatile, or they just, you know, they seen that growing up. So in turn, what they see when they were young and growing up, they do it onto others. And then there are serial killers who had a very good family life, like Mr. Jeffrey Dahmer himself. And he still ended up being a serial killer. So there's, you know, two sides of the coin. You could have a really good family life where your family did nothing to you and you could turn out to be insane, batshit crazy. But at the end of the day, I remember reading about one of the serial killers, and he said the first animal he ever killed was a dog because he wanted to see what it felt like to kill somebody. And so he flicked it on one of his childhood pets or something.
Well, that's supposed to be usually the first thing that a serial killer will end up doing is they start on small prey. They start on like mice, rats, snakes, and then they graduate up to like cats, dogs, and then eventually they graduate up to humans. I mean, that's fucking like textbook.
Yeah.
Total textbook. That's the reason why whenever a child kills an animal or something or shows cruelty to an animal, it's like that should be a total fucking red flag. You should really be asking a whole lot of fucking questions. You know, if your kid kills an animal, you better fucking be like, You should be. What the fuck? You know?
But sometimes some parents don't know how to approach the situation, how to assess the situation. Because they're like, they never think that their kid's going to become that kind of person. And I think for a parent who does not probably have much knowledge, that's why a lot of kids end up in therapy, because a therapist can probably figure out that situation better. However, I think at the end of the day, if a person, you know, is killing animals, that is not normal. That is something that definitely needs to be checked out with a psychiatrist or someone, you know. But luckily I've never had anybody in my family who has oh wait, no, my brother had some weird conversations with us in the past. Yeah.
I hope he isn't going to be one that's like, we're going to end up finding out like in 10 years you got a bunch of bodies buried in his house and you'd be like, I don't understand. He seemed like such a nice fellow.
No. If my brother did something, you know what I'd be like? I'd be like, not surprised.
I knew it. There you go. Oh, what's up, Tricker? Hello, Dusty and Lisa accidentally made a diaper dancing video wearing a shirt but no diaper. Oh, you were Winnie the Poohing it.
Where's the video?
He was Winnie the Poohing it. That's what he's doing. That's called the Winnie the Pooh. I remember the guy here in Canada who dismembered people after they killed them and mailed the parts to people like, oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was mailing parts to like, yeah, all kinds of people. Let me see. I work at university overnight now, and I can't stop thinking about Ted Bundy. This job would be like if, yes, that guy was, man, he was charming as shit.
It was crazy because Ted Bundy, if I remember correctly, Ted Bundy had a law degree. So Ted Bundy looked like just your normal average guy. You never would suspect that Ted Bundy was a serial killer because the way he dressed himself, the way he presented himself, he was dressed up in a suit. He looked really nice. He would go and tell people, hey, he would tell people, hey, I'm a cop. I need you to come with me down to the precinct. And then he'd also tell people, I have a sailboat on the top of my car that I need you to help me with. So he was very smooth. I mean, if I was in the 70s and I saw Ted Bundy, I wouldn't think twice that he was a bad person.
Wasn't he also the one who turned around and was saying that he knew where he had more women buried so they'd keep them alive longer?
They actually just tied another murder to him recently.
Did they? Because he kept on saying, "Oh, there's more, there's
more."
They and he thought they were going to keep him alive until, like, they buried, they dug everybody up.
They found one recently in 2026 that was tied to him. They did a DNA test, and lo and behold, there's another Ted Bundy victim. Her name was Laura, I think.
What kind of DNA did they find? I mean, was it?
Well, the DNA. How they get his DNA is they would have to go. They either would get it through digging up his bones and get DNA through that, or through another family member. Now, Ted Bundy does have a kid, so they could have gotten the DNA through his kid.
Okay, well,
and that would be a parental DNA or something like that.
Yeah, it's almost like Jurassic Park. They have to put the other pieces in there and put it together.
Yeah, because they can get DNA by digging up a person's body. As long as they're not cremated, they can dig up someone's body and they can find circumstantial DNA. And then they could, from there, what they could do is, if the DNA is on the girl, they could get the DNA from the girl, right? And they can match it up. Even all these years, they can match up because technology is amazing nowadays.
Yeah.
They can do all kinds of things.
I remember another guy in Canada who didn't get the medical help he needed for his mental health issues, and he beheaded a pest.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That one, it sticks in my brain to this day. Because freaking Chinese man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Didn't they catch him on video? There's actually video of him on the bus, isn't there? Like after he did it.
The thing about it is, you also have that other case in Canada, Dwayne, with the porn star who killed an Asian Chinese man. But they caught him. What happened was, this guy was on the bus minding his own business. He was on the back of the bus. And this other guy, he had these thoughts in his brain telling him, I need to go kill somebody. So he went and he beheaded him. And he held the head up like it was a trophy.
Schizophrenic?
Yeah, schizophrenic. He held that head up. And the horrified bus riders saw it. They had to see it. They took off the bus while he was killing this man. I feel for those people. I hope they went to therapy. Poor people had to see him get killed.
Yeah, I remember there was people that were. It was an older gentleman too that I think he did it too. And there was people who were on the bus who were like, they were talking to them afterwards, and they're saying, they were like in total shock, and in tears. They were just like, oh my God, we turned around, he was like holding the dude's head. They're just like in total shock. Yeah.
And the guy who did it was like in his late 40s, I think. Or maybe early 50s. He said someone told him to do it. Someone had spoken to him in his brain and said, you gotta go through with this. Young guy too. He was like, the guy was like 26 or late 20s. Crazy. I think.
Bundy was known to have killed 34 women, but most think it was upwards of 100 women. He also decapitated a few and slept with them after he killed them.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy because, like I said, he did not look like the type who would sleep with corpses and shit. It's just really
No,
weird.
because some of these serial killers, they just have this look where you look at them and you don't think they don't look like serial killers. Like Ted Bundy
Mm-hmm.
looked like your everyday guy. He looked like an
Mm-hmm.
everyday guy that you would see walking down the street. He did not have that look to him. And the fact that we still have a bunch of unsolved
Mm-hmm.
murders that could be linked to him is
Yeah.
crazy. And as I said, they discovered in 2026, they linked this
Mm-hmm.
girl to him. So yeah, there's more people out there that are probably dead because of him.
Tanya said, "Okay, it's time. Who's your favorite serial killer? Which one would you date?" Oh no, Tanya, which one would you date? She said, "Wait, they're all dudes." Yes, the guy who was beheaded was a 23-year-old fairground employee.
Oh, 23.
Oh, okay, 23. Okay, if I recall correctly.
To answer your question, Tanya, no one. I don't like what they did. No one.
I'm sure there's one that Lisa would probably end up dating. Which one would you date if you did not know they were a serial killer?
I don't know. Who would you date if you did, Tanya, if you didn't know they were serial killer? Because I would say no one.
Tanya hits me as a Gacy person. No. Tanya's definitely a Dahmer person. Definitely.
Will I say who's a good-looking guy that's going to take me to hell? And just say, okay, I'll say it. I'm going to put my head down. Ooh.
In other words, she's thinking she doesn't really know. She's trying to think off the top of her
I
head.
know who it is. I'll say it. But I'll go to hell. Dahmer. There.
There you go. So there you go.
He's a good-looking guy. Even though he did all the shit he did, he's a good-looking guy, okay? I'm going
Tanya said it was in jest. I was watching an interview with him because actually, funny that we're talking about this because me and my daughter were talking about this shit earlier because we were talking about the Museum of Death. I don't know. You've never been to the Museum of Death, I'm assuming.
No, but I would be intrigued.
Okay. The reason why we're talking about Museum of Death, because I was asking my daughter, I was like, have you ever gone to the Museum of Death? It just because I know that her and her boyfriend are into that type of shit. So I was like going, wait a second, have you ever gone? And I was like watching a YouTube video. I think it was German in Venice. And he was talking about stuff that's not there in Hollywood anymore. And he's talking about this here used to be the Museum of Death, and it's not there anymore. It's a shame Hollywood is changing so much. And I was like, fuck, did they close it? Is it closed? And I looked it up. No, it moved to a different location not too far away. So I was telling my daughter, I'm like, have you ever gone to the Museum of Death? And da-da-da. Well, anyways, long story short, they have like Dahmer's glasses there. They have a lot of different shit. So when we started talking about Dahmer, there's new footage that came out recently that Inside Edition got that was an interview. I think it was like before he died, like a year before he died or something like that. And they were just talking about how like he was like so mild mannered that it was creepy. When Dahmer would talk, he would sit there and he'd be like matter of fact. It was very matter of factly when he would talk about his murders. But then also he'd be like, he was talking about the way he talks about his murders, just fucking creepy as fuck. He's just kind of like, it's almost like he's sitting there saying, well, I got home and I was kind of hungry. So, I made a hamburger and then I had a hamburger and I had a beer and I had some chips. He's almost talking that calmly about like, well, the guy wanted to leave. The man wanted to leave. I wanted him to stay with me. So I drilled a hole in his head and, I wanted to make my own. Just real fucking calmly and shit.
So calm.
Creepy.
I mean, Tanya, good choice. Good choice that you chose because Jack the Ripper is one of the oldest serial killers. They still have not solved the case. And then Trekker, what the fuck? BTK? No, that guy tortured bondage. That guy tortured kids. BTK, no, that guy was very
said probably Jack the Ripper, just because it's so old timey. I think Jack the Ripper, they have a pretty good idea who they think it is, but they'll never really know. I mean, they're never going to prove it who it was. There's going to be speculation until the end of time.
How about the Zodiac killer? We never found out who the Zodiac killer was.
Supposedly, they think that they may have caught the Zodiac killer.
They think so. So. There was a guy that made a post about Katy Perry, and they think he's the Zodiac killer.
Really? So they think he's still alive? How old is the Zodiac killer?
No, he's passed away. His name is Frank Pose, I think, or something, or Posty or something. Okay,
because I was about to say, how old would the fucking Zodiac killer be now?
Well, considering that the murders happened in the early 60s, I would say the Zodiac killer because I would think he was like maybe in his was
80s?
no, he wasn't. He wasn't in his 80s. He was a young guy, like 40s.
But
Because
I'm saying, how old would he be now? Is what I
right
mean.
now he would be my dad's age.
Yeah, he'd be in his 80s. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Not.
Yeah, no, because
Mm-hmm,
they never found out who did it, but
mm-hmm,
he would send cryptic letters to the newspapers,
yeah.
signed the Zodiac Killer, and they made a movie about it. If you guys ever want to
Mm-hmm,
watch it, but the thing about it, when Tanya brought up Jack the Ripper, I'm thinking
mm-hmm,
there are some serial killers out there that have never been found, and Zodiac Killer
mm-hmm.
is one of them. Eileen,
I'd
ooh,
probably have a
Eileen.
listening session of hard rocking metal music with Eileen Warnos. Oh my god, I freaking love it. Well, of course, Tanya loves Eileen Warnos. I
I
wonder
mean,
why. I'm like,
Eileen Warnos scared the shit out of me when I saw
Robert
that
picked it in
movie.
Canada.
When I saw
Oh,
that
she is
movie,
legend, Eileen. You know what though? Actually, to tell you the truth, to be perfectly honest, it's like and this is gonna sound really freaking probably bad to some people, but I think she was kind of like one of the only serial killers where I actually felt bad for her,
yeah,
and because she had gone through so much abuse, she was someone that was I don't think she was a natural serial killer like some of the other serial killers have a couple of screws loose.
yeah,
You know, they had a couple of screws loose before they even started out the gate. I think Eileen Warnos was a product of of society. She was a true product of
yeah.
society.
If you
You
want to
know.
see that movie about her, that movie is pretty good. It's called Monster with Charlize Theron.
Well, no, that's sensationalism. You want to watch the ones that are made by what's the name of the documentarian? Nick Broomfield, I
Oh,
think it is. He made two different documentaries. One was called Eileen Warnos, the selling of a serial killer, and then the second one I forgot what it was called.
okay.
But she had, even after she was caught and she was in jail, she had so many fucking people trying to pick at her bones. She had so many people around her that were trying to use her, for fame and clout and money. It's like it never ended for her. It never ended
I
for
might
her.
have seen those
Hmm.
because I've seen quite a few documentaries on
Hmm.
her. I mean, she's just very interesting when I look into her and I
Hmm.
watch documentaries about her. Is because you're right what you said. She is a product of the society, the upbringing.
Yeah.
What happened to her caused her to be the way she is. Because not all serial killers, end up being serial. I mean, it's just something drove her to it.
Yeah.
Something drove her to it.
I mean, yeah. It's just, I mean, her story was just, I mean, it was some of the shit that happened to her was just, it was horrific and horrible. And it's like, that doesn't excuse what she did. Most definitely not. But,
It
a lot of
doesn't.
horrific things happened to her also.
I
So,
mean, it's not very
uh huh.
common in society. It's not very common for us to have female serial killers
Hmm.
because most of the serial killers we do have in American society are male. So for her to be a serial killer, it's I don't know if there's Tanya probably knows. Are there any other female serial killers, Tanya?
Well, I'm sure there's been other ones, but the thing about her is she came out and said certain things. Eileen Warnos would come out and say certain things, and they would just say that Eileen Warnos was fucking nuts. That's all they would say. Oh, she's fucking nuts. She's a fucking nutty serial killer. You can't listen to what she says. But some of the stuff that she said that was going on around her, actually, they found out was true after her death. Like they were talking about how they didn't exactly. They were looking for her, but they knew where to find her, but they let her get away with it for a moment because there was people that were invested in book deals. There was people who were invested in movie rights. And I'm sorry, that movie Monster, a lot of the people who were involved with that production are supposedly be people that were involved with like maybe letting her get away with a couple of more murders than she should have because like they were trying to build up this. It's a big old conspiracy theory, probably most people would say, but I don't know, man. Some of the fucking shit that she came out with and was proven later, I really don't know. She really went through it. I've even heard of people who died under mysterious circumstances and they don't know who the killer was, unresolved decades later.
Yeah,
I have an interest in those cases.
I like this too.
99.95 were male. Well, yeah, because I mean, she was working. You know, she was working as a prostitute, and you know what? Men can be pigs, especially. I mean, men that are Johns, you know, they could be fucking pigs. You know, so it's like, you know, I totally get that. I mean, it's just, you know, just crazy, crazy.
I mean, it is obvious that 99.9% of killings that happen are by male, but there are some women out there. If you drive them crazy enough, they will do things like what Eileen Warnell said. Because, you know, they'll have
Star Trekker said, I feel sorry for those guys she killed. She probably lied about them assault her. I believe every single one of them assaulted her? No. But do I believe a couple of... I to tell you the truth, I think the ones that really, really did the most damage to her, I don't think those were the ones that she murdered. I think the ones that she murdered were because of the ones who got away with some of the horrible shit they did to her. So I think that conditioned her to later on, you know, murder. Yeah. But hey, like Tanya said, time to party.
Let's party. We need a song. We need a song in the background.
Yeah, like Sean says here, she was an abuse victim and she also did horrible things. I believe she only killed men who abused her, but I don't really know any of the details. Yeah, I mean, what I believe is, you know, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I could definitely be wrong. I always say that, but I don't think she killed the men who abused her, but I think the men that she did kill were because of the men who abused her and got away with it. You know, so yeah, I kind of think that's what happened. But, you know, what do I know? If I knew better, you know, fuck, I would be like a detective or some shit, you know. I wouldn't be up here on a fucking live stream.
No, you'd be in a DA's office.
Yeah. Crazy. Eileen's mother.
Yeah, no. Tanya, I think Tanya likes Eileen, but she's one of those cases that I watched, but I never really like went down the rabbit hole about her. But I feel for her because when you get abused by people, it takes a lot out of you, and I feel for her. She probably was really distraught after all those things happened to her.
Star Trekker said, I almost joined this cult in the mid-90s because I met them at a Star Trek convention. But when they asked me to shave my head and castrate myself, I left.
What
Are you
was
talking
it?
about? No, he's talking about the Order of the Eternal.
Oh,
No, the Order of the Eternal Tanya Z.
Not the David, not that one cult in Texas. You remember that one cult in Texas?
Oh, you're talking about the David Koresh and the
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate wasn't in Texas, was it?
No, that was in another place. But David Koresh was in Texas. Waco.
Crazy that you should mention freaking Heaven's Gate because Museum of Death actually has a display where they have jumpsuits that were taken off a couple of corpses of the Heaven's Gate members, and you know those purple like cloths that they had laying over them. They have those. So when you go to this one section, they have a couple like bunk beds, and they have a couple of mannequins that are dressed up in the jog suits with the freaking Nike Cortezes, and they actually have the freaking uniform on with a patch that says away team and shit with the purple thing laying over the top of them.
I mean, it's just amazing that people, super religious people, could get people to do crazy things like go killing themselves, like Jack Kevorkian style. It's just crazy to think that people have that much power over people. When I first heard about it as a kid, I said to my dad, people do this? My dad goes, yeah, people are crazy.
Oh, definitely.
People do crazy things for religion.
There are videos on YouTube of Heaven's Gate members talking about going to the mothership. You can like watch some of those videos of these people like talking about how they were getting ready, you know, to go to the mothership. And when you watch these videos, these people look like they're completely sane. They look like they are completely sane. They look like your next door neighbors who are out there washing the car on Sunday. You know, I mean, and they're sitting there talking about like, yes, we gave up all our worldly possessions because when it comes time and we go to the mothership, we don't want to be burdened by our possessions. And, you know, and you're just like sitting there going, fuck, for real? These people made videotapes and it's on YouTube. You got to look it up.
I mean,
fucking nuts.
You know what else is fucking nuts? You remember that one case in Utah where the guy was part of the FDL, what was it? FL FLD church or something, and
Uh-huh.
he had all these women that he was with. He was like he had a big polygamy family,
Uh-huh.
and the women, I don't get it. I don't
100, damn.
I
Uh-huh.
don't get it. Oh my God! Happy birthday, David Attenborough. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't get it. They all had the same hairstyle. They all had this French braid hairstyle. They
Uh-huh.
all wore the same dress. Oh, what was his name? He was a very very famous guy in Utah who had a big polygamy farm. He got arrested for it too. He had his own church. The women,
I don't know.
the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I bring that up is because it's crazy how one person can influence all these people to believe in their crazy cockanamian kind of ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would go as far as killing themselves to get to Heaven's Gate. It's crazy to think.
And the leader of Heaven's Gate, forgot what his name was. When you go to see that
Yeah,
when you go to see that display, they have the videotape playing, which they probably got it from YouTube. For
I've
argument's sake,
seen
it's on
it.
YouTube,
I've seen it
where
before.
he's talking about his religion. You know, the guy's like, in his eyes, like he's got those Cash Patel eyes. He's like, so let me go to the, and you're fucking insanity, just fucking insanity. I remember David Koresh. There was also another cult type of thing in Quebec and
Yeah.
Montana, if I recall correctly. Happy birthday, David. David Attenborough, I'm hoping you're saying. Years ago, I remember a movie on TV based on Jimmy Jones. I'm going to start a Midsummer Time commune soon.
Oh,
Midsummer.
what
Okay,
religion is it going to be?
It's going to be all naked chicks there, Tanya. All naked chicks. If it's all naked chicks, me and Trekker are in. We'll just be all your butt boys, and
Yeah, Trekker
we'll
wants
be your
to-
slaves.
Trekker
Lisa wants
would
to
like
join.
to. Trekker, you know what? If I joined that commune of yours, Tanya, I hate to say this, Tanya, but you know what?
Mhm.
People are gonna be like, "Damn."
Not tonight, Argan Bargain. I will be spinning tunes on Saturday night.
Yep, Saturday.
Gross. Screw the Mormons.
No, it's just
Tanya.
no, but it's a true story. If you look it up, Tanya,
Uh-huh.
this guy had so many women believing that his religion was supreme, and there have women that actually have escaped escaped the clutches of this guy, and they went and you know where they ended up on? Surprise, surprise, Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil always gets those crazy loonies on his show.
Ah,
Yeah,
there you go. I think I should start a cult. We'll be called the Dustites. There you
yeah,
go.
that sounds good.
You guys could be called the Dustites, and I'll figure out a way to make some kind of like some religion or some shit. I guess
What's
And
our religion? What do we believe in? Like, do we believe
And
in God?
instead of sending me money, you just send me tamales. That'll be our currency. Tamales is our currency. Tamales is
Yeah.
our currency. And yeah, we don't believe in money. We believe in tamales.
Yeah, you send tamales.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to shave your head,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have to get a tattoo with tamales on it in order.
No. And you're going to be my first saint. I'm going to be like the Catholic Church. I'm going to have saints. So you will be my first saint, and you will be the patron saint of glizzies. So everybody has to, every year, they have to go to the Lisa statue, and they have to put down hot dogs.
Yes, and guys,
Costco hot dogs.
Guys, let me tell you, guys, if you put if you put S-bar hot dogs on my statue, I will come out of that statue and I'll personally hit you with a hot dog. No S-bar, no great value hot dogs. There's only three brands. Kirtland, the Kirtland hot dogs, Hebrew National, and the Ballpark Franks.
I thought it was all about Costco. All about Costco glizzies.
But I'm just saying, if people don't have a membership to Costco and they want to put a hot dog on my statue, get me a Ballpark or Hebrew National.
You leaving us already, Tanya? Are you going to do a stream tonight? Tanya, if you're going to do a stream in a little bit, I'm going to be out of here and I'm going to go over there and bug you.
Tanya, don't leave us. Don't leave us, Tanya.
You know what? Me and Ann were talking about, like, where's Tanya been? Where's Tanya been? We were talking about this the other night. Where's Tanya been? She usually does a stream by now. The other night I forgot who had finished up, and me and Ann were talking on Messenger, and we're like, "Damn, where's Tanya? It'd be nice night for her to do a stream for us to jump up on there."
Yeah.
No Tanya though. Tanya disappointed us. No Tanya. We were sad. And now Ann is in the air. Ann has been messaging me. She is in the air right now. She is above us on her way to, England. It's sad. We're not going to see Anne for well, no, she said that her and her friend in England are going to do some live streams probably.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Uh-huh.
They can have some traditional English food.
And there you go. And lay your favorite record on Dusty's Ultra Sacrifice with tamales. Tamales, though, definitely.
So would you want us to lay Depeche Mode records on there for you as well?
Argan Bargain. Usually, I don't do music during the week. Usually, it's weekend thing because I don't like messing with the algorithm because they're already on my ass as it is.
You remember we had this one segment on your stream that was funny as hell. Speaking of music, where I used to pull up karaoke and I would sing it. That was funny as hell.
I feel for those with mental health issues who are forced to be on his show.
Yeah.
Okay, now Trekker, let's go ahead and see what Trekker wants me to watch. I'm not going to pull it up yet unless it's a video of you dancing in your diaper. Then I'm going to
come back, Argent. Come back, Argent, on Saturday. There's going to be a ton of tasty tunes.
Yes, Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's going to be tons of tasty tunes.
Music.
But if you would like a song, tonight, I could sing a couple of bars.
Let me see here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let us put some Lisa in it. Okay, hold on.
Each morning I get up, I can barely stand on my feet. There, that's all you get.
I see what it is now. It's freaking. Hold on.
Can you share it?
Let me see if it's gonna. Yeah, hold on a minute. I think I can. I know I can. Hopefully, it's gonna go ahead and let me have the sound. Oh, no sound.
Oh. Family Guy.
Here. Oh, that's why. Hold on a moment.
I love Quagmire. Here's a fun fact for all you guys out there. If you watch Family Guy, Seth Green does the voice of Quagmire, and he also does the voice of Peter Griffin. He does the voice of Stewie. He does the voice of pretty much everybody on that show.
Okay, let's see. Do we have sound now?
Yeah.
Peter, what the hell? My car! Ah, damn it! Hey, come back! เฮ้ยจะไปไหนอันนี้อีดอกกูจ่ายเงินไปแล้วกี่กองกูตกลงกับพ่อมึงทำไมไม่จำตำ
Oh, sorry, Quagmire.
How the hell am I supposed to get to the airport? I gotta fly a plane in 20 minutes.
Oh, I can drive you. I got a pickup truck. See?
I got
Well, come on.
Quagmire, I am so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
We can go after them.
Don't worry about it. They're tagged. Just get me to the airport.
There you go. So they let the Lisas out. There you go. Okay, cool. Let me see. Yeah. It's just me and Ann, my old friends from Spawn Ranch Worker. Sweet. It's nice to have a conversation about music. Good change. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, tell you the truth, Sean, it's like during the week, that's what I've been trying to do. Is like during the week, me and Lisa end up having, we end up having, of course, we still talk about music whenever it comes up and stuff like that. But it's like we're kind of like trying to not change our format, but we're kind of like trying to include everything and also including other people in our streams, like letting other people come up on panel and stuff like that. So trying to expand a little bit, But Saturdays, most definitely, like I said, Saturdays are definitely music. So
no, I agree with you, Sean. I mean, I love music just as much as everybody else, and I just think Dusty brought up a good point. Like, why do you want to put yourself in a box and just talk about music when there's so many things that could be discussed? I think I love music just as much as the next person, and I still very much collect music and buy music, but I'm also a person that I think there's more to streams than just music. It gets very stale after a while. There's only so many albums you could talk about before you get bored of it. And I think, I think that's what I think. I like the nice change of pace. I like talking about other things besides music because I think when you do a stream for so long, it's good to have different subjects and not stick to just one subject every week because that gets tiresome after a while.
Well, the way that I feel about it is there's so many, vinyl community channels.
Yeah.
I mean, and I appreciate every one of them. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate every one of the ones that do the music, Grant's Warehouse, all of them. I appreciate them all. But it's just that there's so many of them doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, Patrick, you have Johnny G, who does a fucking excellent job. You have Grant, who does an excellent job. You have Zoo, Zoo doing it. That's the reason why usually on Saturday I'll do music. Usually for me it's like when I play records because I spin vinyl. I'll go ahead and have that as a jumping off point, for people to have a conversation. That's when we have our conversations about music. It's like, but like when it comes to like these conversations, we'll talk about music too, but we want to talk about everything else. It's like,
But what I like about these conversations that we have on the stream, it's very organic. It's like we're not sticking to a script.
Yeah.
We're not sticking to a subject because, no offense to some of the BC channels, but when you have a subject, you feel like you have to stick to that subject or else people are going to come and watch your stream and be like, oh, you're not sticking to the subject that your stream was supposed to be about. And, people get very nitpicky about it. But I think having a free-for-all stream where you just don't title it a certain subject and people can talk whatever they want about, it just feels better than having a subject. Because I used to do that at the beginning. I would have subjects, right? And then I realized, oh my gosh, I have to stick to this subject for the whole 2 hours when I'm streaming.
It's kind of hard to do that. I mean, I find it kind of hard. I mean, there's some people who do it well, like Royce in the house.
Yes.
He can do it well. Him and the Four Horsemen, they definitely do it well, where they can go ahead and they can pull up like one subject and they can stick to that subject because I think that all of them are pre-prepared for that.
Yeah.
But like with us, it's never worked. It's like there's no way we could ever be like, okay, today we're going to talk about the songs of Iron Maiden. And even if you really knew about Iron Maiden, it'd be. I
mean,
we're so like fucking scatterbrained. We'd start talking about something else afterwards.
I have ADHD, guys. You think I could like keep on one subject?
Really? No.
Yeah.
No.
I was diagnosed.
You lie.
I was diagnosed. You lie. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started on Michael Jackson. I've been listening to him on and off for the past week.
No, they lie.
They lie.
They lie.
They lie. I feel like every once in a while we need to play that meme so people know what we're talking about. They lie.
No, I mean, the thing I like about these are like, these streams is, it's more comfortable for me to be up here and just talk about whatever, whatever comes to my mind, so it's like, but if music comes to my mind, I'll definitely talk about that. But but if Booty Cheeks pops up in my mind, I'll talk about that.
Yeah. Dwayne, I feel like Cinco de Mayo was a holiday invented it's kind of like a corny holiday. And no, I don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo, but it's like we have our own holidays in the Asian culture that we have Chinese New Year, but is it safe to assume that Hispanic people find Cinco de Mayo kind of corny? Or some of them do?
Yeah. I was going to say right here, I was going to answer Argan Blargan's question here. Very good. You got me there. Actually, it's true what he's saying. It's titled Spin Room, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that was probably just out of extreme laziness because I usually always call it the Spin Room. We're in here. I call the room in general the Spin Room, but yeah.
You are right.
As far as Cinco de Mayo though, I don't know if Mexicans find it cheesy or not.
Some of them probably do. Like some Asian cultures, we find cheesy as Asians. So I don't want to misstep or misspoke about things.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Being myself personally, I am a Taco Bell Mexican. I am not a hardcore Mexican. So for me, I'm kind of like when it comes to Cinco de Mayo, I'm kind of like the same thing like all the other people, all the gavachos, as they say. I'm like tacos and beer.
I mean, you want to know, guys? Guys, you want to know who's my favorite taco? You don't want to know what's my favorite taco?
Cabeza.
No, the tacos that you get from Jack in the Box. Those are bomb tacos.
Oh my God! You did not just say that. Lisa.
Yes, I did. Hey, I like those tacos, but I also like my carne asada. I also like my El Pastor. I don't like lengua. I don't like Sodero.
You don't like cabeza.
I don't like cabeza, but I like al pastor. I like carnitas, and I like carne asada. I get it with the red sauce. Okay, I feel like if you eat meat and you eat like carne asada, and you get it with the red sauce, like stuff like pork and chicken, you put green sauce on it. You put you put you put rojo, you put rojo on steak, and then you put verde on the white meat. That's how I've always ate it that way.
Okay, and that's Lisa's words of wisdom for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. I speak some Spanish too, guys.
Dwayne said, "I like offal cuts of meat." Offal.
I can tell you how to say I don't speak Spanish in Spanish.
I do too, Dwayne.
You know how to say that, right? How to say I don't speak Spanish in Spanish?
No, how to say I don't speak Spanish or I don't understand. I know how to say I don't understand Spanish.
How do you say?
No habla español.
Yeah, that's what I said to them. I said to them, no habla español, mucho hablo inglés.
Yeah, how do you say I don't speak Spanish?
It's like, no, my dad speaks it, but I don't know much.
Me no speako españolo.
You know what I used to say? me go to the El Truco with the El Carro in the El Banco.
Me no speako el españolo. Españolo, there you go.
Like one time I went to King Taco and this lady was speaking to me in Spanish. The lady who was like taking my order, and I was like, I don't know hablo español. And she goes, Inglés? And I go, sí, Inglés.
Okay, so like when you go to King Taco, do you like go, how do you order? Like what is the main thing you order when you go to King Taco?
I'd be like, un por favor burrito. With asada. I'd be like, un por favor asada burrito.
Un papa four. Un papa four. Is that what you said?
Uno por favor burrito with asada. And then I would say onions and cilantro afuera, which means on the side. And then I say something like that.
No, you're right. That's what you said.
Yeah, and then I would say roja, not verde. I'd be like roja.
Okay, so that means like red sauce. Okay.
Yeah, on the side.
Afuera, as you say, afuera.
I'm not very good, but my dad taught me that because my dad speaks it fluently. My dad can write it, and he can speak it. It impresses people when they see my dad speaking Spanish. They see this white man walking up, and then this white man starts speaking Spanish. They're like, oh my God, this white gringo can speak Spanish. And my dad's like, I appreciate that. And I was like, Dad, that's not a compliment.
My ex-girlfriend, she looked so white. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yep.
She looked so white. She was half Mexican, half white. But she really had more of her mom's side, the white side look. She spoke fluent Spanish. And we would go to places. And the thing is, if you really think about it, these people who are speaking Spanish were disrespecting me too. Because, I mean, I think I look pretty Mexican. When you see me in person, I look pretty Mexican. But they would go ahead and I don't know if they would pick up on my accent, that the way I speak, whatever. They would go ahead and they would say shit in Spanish. And I don't know what it was about her. I don't know if it was just her air, her vibe. I don't know. But it seemed like Mexican women always wanted to talk shit about her. I don't know what it was, and like they would always like make little remarks about her or whatever, and stuff like that. And I remember, where were we at? I forgot where we were at, and the two women were talking about her. And then when we were leaving, she walked up to them and she told them in fluent Spanish, like, I understood every word you bitches were saying.
Yeah.
And they looked at her and they were like, she told them in Spanish and they looked at her like, and she's all, ¿por qué? And she told them like, yeah, so be careful next time you say something about somebody.
I mean, I understand that.
But I was like, wow.
I understand that because you bitches can't talk about me in Vietnamese.
Yeah, I was all, get him,
because I understand it. I understand when people talk about me in Vietnamese. Some lady was talking mad shit about me in Vietnamese. I was like, what did you say about me? And she goes and she talks to my mom. She's like, your daughter understands what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, talk shit about me again in Vietnamese. I dare you. I dare you, woman.
Okay, now tell me something nasty in Vietnamese.
I don't know. I don't speak it very well. That's the problem. I don't speak it very
Okay,
well.
okay, like how would you say like I want your body, Dusty, in Vietnamese?
Now I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Why would you have to pick?
Because my Vietnamese is rusty.
Okay.
This is how you say it, people. Toy moon ko de qua ban. Toy moon do qua ban. That means I want your body.
No,
so,
I thought no. I said Vietnamese, not Klingon, Lisa.
That is Vietnamese.
You sound like you're speaking
no,
Klingon.
that is Vietnamese because in the Vietnamese language we have accents on top of the word to emphasize the certain letters. So toy, moon, ko,
toy, moon, koi,
ko, the, qua, say qua, ban. You got it. You know why I had to learn and understand Vietnamese when I was a young kid? Because my mom would always speak it when we were in the house. Like when we get in trouble, she'd be like, Lisa, my diver. Like when I got in trouble, my diver means you're going home.
Trish just translated what you said.
Oh, medium horny? No, but you know what?
That's what it means in Vietnamese, Trish.
There's this one video that's funny of this guy who's white, but he's Mexican. It's from this guy called Pedro Flores, and he does this video when people think you're not Mexican because you look white, and it's pretty funny. He goes and speaks in full fluent Spanish, and the guys are like, "He speaks Spanish? I mean, come on, his name is Pedro Flores."
Yeah, nah, really? Let me see. Morrissey looks just looks like he just saw a roast beef sandwich in Lisa's bedroom. Oh, you're talking about the thumbnail. I know, Lisa. Just say me so horny.
The reason why I know a little bit of Vietnamese is because you need it to get by in some certain places. I mean, did you ever think about learning Spanish fluently? I thought about learning Vietnamese fluently because I thought it might benefit me.
This is the thing that's really strange, okay, is that I cannot speak Spanish fluently. If you give me a minute or two, I can talk back to someone in Spanish, but it takes me a minute to, calculate it and then say it. And that's without having to look at a book or whatever. Now, if somebody speaks Spanish to me, I pretty much know what they're saying. It's like I can, they can speak to me in Spanish and I could be like, oh, I'll answer them back in English. Because my grandfather used to speak a lot of Spanish.
That's the same with me with Vietnamese. I can't really speak it well. But if you say things in Vietnamese, I'll understand because my mom, she would get really pissed off at me. She would say things in Vietnamese.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with my dad. My dad was the same thing. My dad would get really pissed off at me and say something to me in Spanish, and I knew what he was saying. But my mom was like a real Taco Bell Mexican. She did not understand or speak Spanish. But my mother knew certain words because there were certain words that my grandfather and my grandmother used to use when they didn't want them to hear things. So she knew how to she knew what like presents, toys, candy, stuff like that. Like when they were saying stuff like that, my grandparents, when they were kids, my uncle and my mom, they would hear that. So they knew when they were talking about that because they'd talk in Spanish, so she knew those words. But a whole lot of the other stuff. No. Long ago, people had to learn the language that was beneficial for their survival. Have you guys ever heard that story in the Bible where they said that it was Satan who turned around and created all the languages because they were trying to build a temple? They were trying to build a temple or something, and supposedly, I don't know if it was demons or Satan created languages so that way, like, all of a sudden they all spoke different languages and they couldn't communicate to get this thing built. And that's how we got all our languages or something. I remember hearing that in church, and I was like, it was like during Bible time studies. We used to go to this thing every summer that was called Bible time. And basically, the only reason why all of the kids went is because they gave us snacks and they gave us these ribbons. Like every time we learned Bible verses or we did something good, we got a ribbon. So the whole thing was getting all these ribbons, on your shirt. And they told us that story, and I remember I got ribbons revoked because I was like, "What a bunch of bull!" I was a rotten kid. I mean, it was like they're like, "Yeah," and they wanted to. They did. Satan didn't want the temple built, so all of a sudden they all spoke to each other. And they couldn't understand each other because they were all speaking different language. There you go. Kim said the Tower of Babel, and I was just like I said, I was such a jackass because I was like, "Oh, bull!" I was like, And they said, "Yes. Would you like to tell us, Richard, the reason why
You probably went
don't
to
believe
confession.
this?"
You probably went to confession a lot.
No, it was Baptist. It wasn't Catholic.
No.
Only Catholics confess. Baptists don't confess.
Oh, you're a Baptist.
No, I'm not I just went to Baptist church because a lot of my friends were Baptist and they went to Baptist church. So I just went to the local church that was on the corner. I used to do it every summer, with all the rest of my friends in the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The workers that just replaced my bathroom couldn't speak a word of English. There you go. Checker.
You should be like, adios mios, adios mios.
Adios mio.
Or as they say in King Hill, Vio con Dios.
I heard of a musician who learned Japanese because when he went to Japan, he was fascinated by the writing. And he wanted to know what they meant. That would be, a good reason. I mean, I'm sure you have people like Rice Fields, or Tokyo Brian, people in the VC that have gone over to Tokyo or gone over to Japan. They've learned the language, I mean, I've never seen them speak fluently on their streams, but I'm sure they've learned enough where they're able to live in the country.
I only know one word in Japanese. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Tower of Babel. Yes, that was the story. I wonder if there's a way to find a representation of that in film. I'm going to look that up later to see like a part in a film where they show, the Tower of Babel being, how it became so confusing because of the different languages. Tower of Babel, God confounded them or confused them.
I don't know much about religion. I don't know much about religious stuff. I mean, I just know about what my parents taught me when I was growing up because my dad's a Catholic. He grew up a Catholic. And recently we were having a conversation of what would happen if something happened to him. Yeah. And he told me he wants to have it at a Catholic church. And that is not up for debate. Is that if he has his final days, he said it's going to be at a Catholic church.
So he's going to want last rites then?
I'm assuming, yes. He's had his last rites read a few times.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad has, been near death a few times. So, yeah, he's had his last rites read a few times. My dad has used 3 of his 9 lives already.
Have you, I don't know. Were you did you go to church a lot as a kid, or did you have like a Baptist church they took you to, or was it Catholic church? Did you grow up with any kind of religion? We
didn't go to church as a kid.
Okay.
But we were my dad would always have us say the daily prayer. Give us, for be I heaven, give us our daily prayer.
Yeah.
And we would say that, but we went to church one time when I was 12. The whole, if you go to church, we'll take you to Disneyland story. Yeah. Yeah, we went to a Catholic church.
I was recently, there was, the reason why I ask is because I was wondering if maybe you were anywhere in the Baptist church or in that religion, because there was a movie they used to show in Baptist churches. I don't know how many people here in the chat are going to remember this, if any of them went to Baptist churches also. It was called A Thief in the Night. And it was a movie that was made during the 70s. Really, really cheesy film that was made by, basically like a Christian think tank. They made this movie, and this movie got distributed to churches everywhere, and they would have these viewings on Wednesday nights or whatever, because church was on Wednesdays and Sundays, and they would have these viewings, and they would pull us all in and be like, "Oh, tonight we're going to watch A Thief in the Night." It was basically a movie that was supposed to be about what happens during the rapture. These people wake up and all these people are gone, and this woman wakes up and her husband's gone, and everything that happens in the final days, and the mark of the beast, and just people getting their heads chopped off because they're refusing to take the mark of the beast, and they're going to die for Christ, and just all this stuff. I just remember that movie scared the living shit out of me.
I don't know if we
which is that's exactly what it was meant to do. It was supposed to scare the living shit out of you. So afterwards, when the movie was done, they'd hand around the collection plate, and then they would turn around and say, whoever wants to come up and be saved, and not face the rapture, come up and be saved. And people would just like run to the front to like, oh, I want to be saved, I don't want to be in, hell and damnation.
Is this like some Benny Hinn kind of thing?
I can't. No, I actually have the movies downloaded. They made a trilogy. It's called A Thief in the Night trilogy. Huh. I have them downloaded. I found them on. I think I found them on Pirate Bay. I stole them. I'm going straight.
I've watched some religious stuff. I've watched some I've watched some movies made about Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I mean, because all my life I grew up with two different religions in our household. I grew up with the Catholic religion, and I grew up with the Buddhist religion on my mom's side. So when we were talking recently, my mom was like, "Oh, we could bury you at this church that she's buried, that she's had the services for 3 of her family members." Mm-hmm. And my dad was like, "No, I'm not a Buddhist. I'm a Catholic, so I want to have my funeral ceremony at a Catholic church."
Yeah,
and,
makes sense.
And I was thinking, what kind of church will we have it at? Because my dad really didn't go to church much when he was older. Uh-huh. He stopped going to church when he was like, I don't know, I think when he married my mom, he stopped going to church. But the thing about church is, there was also a time, William, when I was agnostic, but then I came back to church. I came back to church, and I've, ever since I've been a believer.
I don't think I'm agnostic. I believe that there's a higher power. There's something out there that is greater than us. I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know if that's necessarily, the Holy Trinity.
Agnostics believe that. I think agnostic people believe that there is some sort of a higher power, while atheists do not believe that there is any kind of higher power.
This is the thing that's going to probably freak you out, Lisa, is that during the pandemic, I for some reason it just popped up on my freaking timeline for Facebook, and it was the Church of Satan.
Ooh.
And I was kind of like, they were like, for some reason, I don't know how they got into my algorithm or whatever, but I was seeing every day, and of course, if you speak to people that are Christians like that, they'll say, that was the devil talking to you. That was the devil trying to get his word to you. That was the devil trying to get through to you, blah, 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 blah. You got to rebuke that. You have to block it. Now, the thing is, everything that they said in these little sayings, they said made total sense. It was all common sense. A lot of the teachings of the Church of Satan are just common sense. But you also have to, this is the reason why I do not take the Church of Satan seriously, is because it was built and established on mocking established religions. So that's the reason why I can't take them seriously.
No.
Even though what they say makes sense, it doesn't matter. Your whole church was built on, mocking the Catholicism and mocking Christianity and mocking, Baptism. So I can't take them seriously because of that. But a lot of what they say do sometimes make sense, and so like that.
I've never delved down. I never delved down looking at that, but I've looked at other religions, and at one time, I did try to I picked up the Quran. I think it's called the Quran, and I tried reading it. That book is a big, big book, and a lot of things that say in the Quran, I'm like, what the? I don't know. I just can't wrap around my head with some of the belief systems that they have in the Muslim religion.
Well, some of the things some of the things in Satanism are like over the top. Like, a lot of it has to do with a lot of it is respect for other people. A lot of it is not taking any less type of respect for yourself. But it's just it's over the top. Like, if a man comes into your home and disrespects you, you must destroy him. Type of shit like that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying if a man comes into your home, you must rebuke him and throw him out of your home. Okay, that I could be all right, yeah, all right. Well, he's disrespecting your own home. Yeah, that makes common sense. Throw him out. No, they do shit they have to word it if he is a foe and he disrespects you in your domain, you must destroy him. It's like that type shit,
I get that. There are stuff in the Catholic Church or in the Christian books that I've read. Some of it had me scratching my head saying, what the heck? Because even though I am a Catholic and I have been a Catholic since birth, I do not believe everything that is told to me by the Catholic Church. I don't.
That is actually very, very, very insightful right there.
Yep.
That's very insightful, Kimba. A lot of pastors infiltrate the church, profit, and create derision and hypocrisy, which has turned people away that ultimately may have been their goal all along.
Joel Osteen.
Exactly.
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen. You're all Joel Osteen.
The people who run that one church that Justin Bieber is a part of.
There was one church that I started going to for a while back there. I would say maybe about 2016. I started going to this church because the crazy narcissistic ex, she went on a kick, that we were going to start going to church because we needed Jesus. And I was like, all right, it's a positive thing. I didn't see it as a negative thing. Okay, well, we'll go. Maybe, because we were having a lot of problems at the time. And I was thinking, well, maybe she'll end up getting something positive out of it. And, we'll see what happens. So we went to this one church. It's called Calvary Chapel or Church. Actually, I forgot what the name of the preacher is, but it's the same pastor who runs the big Harvest Crusade over here in Orange County.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed going to his church. The reason why I like going to his church is because he kind of his church, you can go in flip-flops and beach shorts and you wear t-shirts. It's real laid back. It's like it's a surfer church, and you go in there, it's just real kickback. And the way he explains things, he's like, you know what? He jokes about it and he tells a story. He'll be like, well, Jesus is over here. And, Jesus is like, man, that's not cool. And da-da-da. The way he explains things, it's kind of like you're just talking to a bro, Yeah. So I really enjoyed going to his church. So I enjoyed going to that, and stuff like that. But it was weird because when I started enjoying going to it, and I was every Sunday, I was kind of looking forward to it. Then she pulled back and she didn't like it anymore. It was weird. Greg Laurie. See, Kimba knows who he is. Greg Laurie. There you go. That's who he is.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with it because, a lot of people, they want to get closer or connected to God. And, the thing about it is, even though I don't go to church, I tell Dusty this on the phone that I pray for people. I always pray for people. I have a list of people that I pray for. And if you need praying, you can be on my list, people. I pray for everybody, pretty much. I'm okay. I don't pray for Cheeto. I don't pray for JD Vance. I don't pray for that one guy in Israel.
Lori interviewed Alice Cooper. Okay, I did not know that. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually, watched any of his sermons. Which but it was just a sermon. I enjoy watching him. It's whenever I watch him, I don't feel like I'm being force-fed religion or I'm being told to think a certain way or I should feel guilty because I'm a sinner or I should feel guilty about this. It's his whole thing was that, when he was saying, he walked up to a woman who was wearing makeup and he was saying, well, people will say makeup is of the world, blah, 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 and they shouldn't wear it. He's all in his church. He believes, does the makeup make you feel better? Does the makeup make you feel good about yourself? Does the makeup make you feel good and then you do better things because you feel good about yourself? Blah, blah, blah. Well, then he says, well, then that's of God. Then that's God's way of working. He's giving, letting you wear, whatever. So that was kind of his thing. And he said when it comes to music, he was like, you have reasoning. You have ways to reason, power of reason. You know what's wrong and what's right. So a song's not going to, influence you to, be evil or sin.
No.
It shouldn't, so, and his whole thing was music is of God. God created music. God wanted us to enjoy music. So why do we tell people not to listen to music or, music is of the devil? Well, it's not. It's not of God. It's not of the devil. He's all, or of the world, as they say. He's all God created, so.
I mean, I've seen that interview that Kimbo was talking about. I saw it. The interview with Alice Cooper and how he had found God again and, started going back to church. I think it's on the TBN. If you guys want to know who's the huge conglomerates of the church, the Trinity Broadcasting Company and the 700 Club.
Oh, that's a shame to hear that. Laurie is currently wrapped up some essay stuff. You know, yeah, that's sad to hear. You know, because I really did like him, but
Trump.
But then again, we'll see what happens.
Trump and JD Vance are not getting my prayers. They already, are going to where they need to be.
The Cooper interview is on YT.
Yep, you can look it on. It's on. I think it's on the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
Mm-hmm. Well, you people, we have been here for 2 hours. We are going to go ahead and sign off. It was great to see you, Kimba. Great to see you, Paulina, DJ Trish, Dwayne, all the great people. William, go back to say to William. It was great to see you, Kimba. I haven't seen you here in a while.
Yeah, it's great seeing Kimba.
Trekker, come on, man. The diaper video.
Where's the diaper video?
Focus. Next Wednesday when we come on again, we come on Friday, because Friday night we will be over at Lisa's. Friday night we do this at Lisa's. And then Saturday, of course, we do music during the day. But by next Wednesday, come on, Trekker. You can get us a diaper video by then.
Trekker. You know? I got a request for you. I got a request for you, Trekker. You can do it too. Our God is an awesome God. Because since we're on this religious talk, or maybe you can do it to some Michael W. Smith or DC Talk. Think about it, or Skillet. Because I do know some Christian music.
I could see that, Sean. I definitely. I have a lot of friends who were raised in religion, and same thing. You know, they became kind of like turned off by it. Totally.
Yeah, that totally happens. Thankfully for me, my parents didn't really shove it. My dad didn't really shove it down my throat. My dad said, as I grew older, you can decide if you still wanna. But for me, it's just like, I ended up later in life, reconnecting with it. But I understand, Sean. Some parents can be really forceful with shoving religion down your throat that you, as an adult, you don't want to believe in it anymore.
Okay, one last thing before I leave. Now, one thing I will mention is there's a film that came out, I think it must have been over a decade ago now. It was a little thing called Zeitgeist. I think it's on YouTube for free, but it's called Zeitgeist. And what this actually does, this film breaks down government, our Fed system, everything, but they also go into religion. Now, the thing that is scary about this movie is in this movie, and people end up saying that's Satan speaking, is they go over the story, Jesus' story, and how he came to be, how we know it, and we've been taught through religion, and how this same story has been repeated time and time and time and time again through different religions with different gods. Now, a lot of people end up saying, well, maybe those other religions are impersonating or they're copying the story of Jesus when Jesus was the true story of whatever. People would say that, whatever. It's called Zeitgeist. It's on YouTube. If you get a chance, watch it. It is kind of thought-provoking and stuff like that. I was kind of like watching it and going, really? But everything with a grain of salt. So good night, Dwayne. Dwayne said, I still have to look at the Ticketmaster for $30 tickets. Kim said, take care, XOXO. Hope to see you on Friday.
Love all of you guys.
Saturday.
Love
good
all
night,
you guys.
Love you all.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody. You all are the bee's knees.
William Archer, great. Bye, everyone. We'll be back home in Perth. Safe travels. I hope you get there safely. So I hope I could enjoy the next stream. My musical tastes go way back to Hank Williams Sr., Robert Johnson, Brahms, to old church hymns. Nice.
Yeah. Everybody have a good day. And if you feel like you're in the mood, put on some Kurt Franklin.